within the U.S. Conference of Mayors, where I spend a lot of my time, mayors are very competitive, and we also really like best practices. Why learn the hard way when you can learn by somebody else's mistake? And there's a lot of conversation over who was doing a good job with sustainability, and so we picked and chose from different practices that were going on. Still, in this day, in that day, it was very much in its nascent stages, and so there was a lot of questions. There were a lot of questions about what sustainability was and how you accomplished it at the municipal level. I don't think any city has found the ultimate solution in that regard. I tasked my Director of Economic Development, which in those days, no mayor's offices had sustainability directors. Now they're ubiquitous, they're everywhere. And with bringing together the different business interests around sustainability. It's my personal philosophy, and that is that if you're going to regulate somebody, you should have them at the table, at least to get their ideas to reality test. Sometimes you find out that what seemed really good on a whiteboard in a conference room doesn't work so well in practice. So I tasked my economic development director with bringing everyone together to look at sustainability. What they came back with was a voluntary system of the different component parts of the sustainability plan, which was totally unacceptable to me. Because if it's voluntary, has no teeth, I think people tend to want to do the right thing, but they'd rather decide whether they should do it. And while I think that good sustainability practices result in good return on investment financially, sometimes folks don't see it so clearly. So the first project came back after about 6 months, and I totally threw it out and said, no, we're going to start over again, and we're going to put some teeth in it. And let's look at each component part, and particularly I was focused on carbon emissions and efficiency in the urban sphere. So we were looking at how our heating and air conditioning was working, how were our buildings doing in terms of carbon emissions, how was our traffic planning in that regard, our energy sourcing, all the different things that make up a carbon footprint. And when they came back with the different standards for heating and air conditioning, I said, that's great. Let's gradually increase the efficiency. Interestingly, the business people that were at the table weren't particularly offended by it, but the industry was. And we didn't even consider at that time the notion of federal preemption, because I don't think anybody in the task force really thought that there was a federal regulation that might supersede anything we did at the local level. It might complement, but supersede, we hadn't thought about that. So this litigation was very much a surprise.